Good evening. I'm going to read a few scriptures and then have a very short discussion with you. Um, Matthew chapter 7, starting with verse 15. That's Matthew chapter 7, verse 15. Beware false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. Ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns, or figs of thistles? Even so every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Good fruit. Yeah. Something that I noticed years and years ago. This was way before social media too. That I had a very good sense of whether somebody was sincere with me or not. That I could tell that they were putting on airs, or they're faking it, fake smiles, fake kindness. And I know that sounds a little off, and maybe it sounds as though I'm judging, and it's not about judging, because honestly, it would make me feel sad for them, because when I look at most people, I see sad eyes, and I see a person that's hurting deeply. And I'm the type of person who likes to make people laugh and want to fix that hurt. And because I knew that people weren't being real with me, that I didn't want to point it out to embarrass them or call them out on it. But it's like, it's one of those things of, how do you handle that? You know they're hurting, but they're trying to hide it. So you know them by their fruits. So it's not just about those that pretend to be kind to others, because there's a lot of that. More often than not, people pretend to like things, or pretend to be agreeable, but then you know that they think differently or feel differently, and maybe they pretend to like something they don't, because they don't want to cause conflict, they don't want to cause a dramatic situation. Of course, if you're getting into a relationship with somebody, it is a really bad start, because you're starting off lying. And if you are lying, then your relationship isn't solid. So that's why when you hear that most relationships don't last after a year or so, it's because people came into the relationship on a false pretense, that they came in lying and pretending to be someone that they're not. Showing that they had on the outside of their fruit that everything was pretty and not bruised, but they didn't show their pain and bruises and their emotional struggles underneath. And it's brought to the surface eventually, because you can only hide for so long when the truth finally comes out. So why am I bringing this topic up? Well, When you decide to take the Lord Jesus Christ into your heart and build a personal relationship with Him, there's no faking it. You can't pretend to like certain things um, and and lie, because He knows you better than you know you. He knows your heart. He knows your mind, which is a positive thing for me, because I don't feel like I have to overly explain myself and he and the other person have bad feelings because I'm being misunderstood. But for others who are used to putting on that mask and pretending their entire life to like things and just getting through the day, doesn't work out, because when you have a relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ, it's the actual first relationship they may have ever really tried to be in. A genuine relationship, a real relationship. And because they don't have a history of having real relationships with people, they don't know how to have one. So that's another reason why it's important to be born again, because you're getting rid of the old, your old self, your old ways, your old habits, your indoctrination, your programming of what you think the other person requires of you. But the thing is that the Lord Jesus Christ loves you for exactly who you are and wants you to put your real self out there and speak truth. He wants you to work through all of your ugly truths, all those truths that you hid all those years, and work it out. Because He wants to help you heal all those wounds that you just kept covering up with that pretty outside fruit. He knows what's on the inside. No matter how hard you try to convince yourself, you're lying to yourself that you're okay. You're lying to yourself that your relationship with Him is solid if you're not willing to put the time and effort and be real and get to know yourself, because you've been lying to yourself your whole life. You don't know who you really are when it all boils down to it. That when you see yourself through the Lord Jesus Christ's eyes, you're going to be surprised that you're going to find out that you are not as much of a good person as you thought you were. And I'm not saying you're an awful person. I'm just saying that because you've developed this habit of lying your whole life, it's hard to break and come into reality of what's truth. That's why when somebody who's born again speaks truth, people don't want to hear it. They want to continue on with those beautiful lies that they've heard their whole life about how great they are and they're doing a great job. They don't need to change anything. When reality is, all of us need work on ourselves. And all of us need to reevaluate what a real relationship is with someone. Because Jesus Christ doesn't have Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat that you can just send a message and give a thumbs up or whatever they do, the kids do these days, of saying they like something and then go about their day and ignore Him. That's not a real relationship. So Ask yourself, what is a real relationship? It's actually getting to know him. How do you get to know him? His living word. This is how much he loves you. I don't know how many words are in the Bible. I don't know how many words. I don't know how many scriptures are in the Bible, but there are a lot. He took the time and effort to put all of his words down for you to get to know him. His words to show you how much he loves you. If you can't take the time and effort to show him how much you love him by at least reading what he has to say, do you really deserve anything? Can you really say that you have a relationship with him? Because I doubt when the time comes, which I believe is very, very soon, that you want to hear him say to you that he doesn't know you. So, truth. Build your truth upon your rock. Start with a solid foundation in your relationship by being real. You know? It's like going through the motions. Excuse me, my nose itches. Going through the motions of praying and making such a display. It's like another act, another insincere fluff nothing that man's traditions made you believe that that's how you worship the Lord Jesus Christ, when what he really wants is for you to be present 100% when you're interacting with him and love him with your heart and speak truth and stop lying to yourself and stop lying to others. That's how you love your neighbor as you love yourself. You speak truth. In a world that's full of lies, I'm about to sneeze. In a world that's full of lies, be different, be bold, and show him that you love him so much that you're willing to not care about other people's opinions, that you care about his feelings and his thoughts. So, I didn't sneeze, it passed. Any event, I hope this plants a good seed that most of us have never been in a healthy relationship, and most of us don't know what a real relationship is like because, you know, we always lied in our past relationships. And, you know, you can say, no, that's not true. I mean, but it is true. You lied. You lied to yourself. You lied to others. Because when you said that you were okay, I doubt that every time you said you're okay, that you were okay. You know, you weren't being truthful with your feelings and your thoughts. And then it built up, and then it just got bigger, and it got too big, and then you had to tell more lies, and then a lot of relationships end because neither one of you know each other, because you just spent the whole time lying to each other. Well, the Lord Jesus Christ doesn't want you to come into a relationship with him with that old wine, with the lies. He wants you to strip away the old and become born again and become new and be childlike and just be open and honest. You know how little children, before they start getting indoctrinated, they just tell you like it is. They don't think about how you're gonna feel about it. They just, if it's up here, it comes out here. Well, that's what the Lord Jesus Christ wants. He already knows what's up here. So what's up here, if the same thing doesn't come out here, or what's in here, if the same thing doesn't come out here, you're being dishonest and you're lying. And it hurts him because he knows the truth. So be truth, live truth. And the more you realize that he's going to love you no matter what, and the more you speak truth and make it something new and routine, the easier it just gets. And I'll tell you, building my own relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ, he has a very funny sense of humor. And even when I'm feeling at my worst and I vent and, I feel like I remember the old, how people didn't understand me, he shows me that he understands me. And that's priceless. So, good seed, hopefully planted in good soil. And I hope this encourages somebody else to break down that wall. You've had that wall up there your whole life. It's time to take it down. So I love you and have a good night. God bless.